Good morning. It is November 20th and it is much colder for this morning run than it has been in the past, but I just walked up to the top of the hill. It's only one house away, and it is much warmer at the top of the hill and at the bottom of the hill than it is at my house. Maybe it's the wind chill, I don't know, but yeah, I walked like 20 steps and it's much warmer up here than it is at my house. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, I am out on a morning run, running late. I was up at 5:30, and then I lounged and watched on Instagram for a while, and I had to resist another test knit. I'm up to six test knits. This is how I get into test knits, but I didn't count any posts that I saw from Yarn Pond because that's like their only thing is test knitting. So, or test crochet or testing. So I felt like that wasn't fair. Because like if I looked at 3 of their posts, that was like 3 things. So, yes. I think I'm counting it if I seriously consider it and like swipe through the photos. Or like click on the link in the bio. I'm thinking that's counts as resisting it, not just seeing it in somebody's stories. Yeah, that's the method. So last night my husband was laughing at me. He's like, well, you're doing what when you don't test knit? And I was like, he's like, you're ridiculous. That's valid, but it's a big problem and I'm trying to exercise self-control. I am almost done with my test knit obligation for the wrap that I'm working on. It's my quote-unquote secret test knit, I guess. I'm like 4 rows away from being done. Not from being done with the entire shawl thingy, but with the test knit obligation, so that I can kind of just like work on it when I want to, instead of like I'm on a deadline. I have one more, but I'm feeling no inspiration to work on it. So I'm just gonna kind of let it ride because it's not due until March. So I'm gonna kind of see how I feel once I've had a break from a bunch of test knitting, because I haven't really had a break from test knitting ever since I started knitting, really actively knitting again. Yeah, I think I started test knitting when I was like in the depths of my postpartum depression, and it was like the only thing that could keep me going because I wasn't working either. And I do really well, strangely enough, with peer pressure, that like I'm obligated to somebody else outside of my family who doesn't know me that well, and I don't want to let them down, which is probably you know, a millennial perfectionist trait, but it helped. So I think that's why I was so hesitant to give up test knitting, because it helped drag me out of my horrible doom spiral that I was in. So I am out of my horrible doom spiral. I've been out of it for actually quite some time, almost a year or so, maybe a year and a half, basically when I stopped breastfeeding Eleanor, because that was the worst. Actually, breastfeeding Lottie was worse. That's not true. Breastfeeding is the worst, at least for me. I know some people great with it. They loved it. It was magical and transcendent. It was not magical and transcendent for me. It was terrible. But anyway, so I think that's why I've been hesitant and stuck to test knitting for so long, even when I'm clearly burning out. So I think I'm almost done. I'm almost done. No new test knits is the goal. So I worked on my secret test knit. It's going well. It's actually looking really beautiful. The sock sets I have are beautiful that I'm using for it. I'm really into it. So it's in like 4 chunks. The chunk that I'm using for the contrast heel, or the contrast mini, this one I think is the hardest one that I picked, because it's just a lot of like 1x1 cabling that I'm like over, and I'm like, I don't need this anymore. So there's that. I finished my ridiculously scrappy socks. I knit them out of Swish DK, which was the leftovers of my sister's excavation sweater. And I was like, I totally have enough. I did not have enough even a little bit. Yeah, I was short a significant amount of yarn, but I finished it and they were okay. I just popped in some white. Those are done. I finished the market bag that I had been working on for maybe 15 years, and it took me like half an hour to finish it. But honestly, the reason why I think I never finished it was the needles that were on it were not usable needles. I can see why it was so hard on me and it was such a slog. They're plastic needles with really dull tips, and then the cable was also plastic. So I just think it was, the materials weren't great. The tools that I was using to do it were not the right tools. So it was taking me, when I was, you know, working on this 10 years ago, it was taking me forever and it wasn't working. I also realized that I was doing things wrong. Like I was supposed to be doing, I think, yarn overs or something, and I wasn't doing them, but it's fine. The market bag is done. I'm gonna gift it to someone at work, call it for Christmas, call it good. Yeah, I think I finished that. Those were my only 3 things. Oh, and if you missed, check out the giveaway in my yesterday's vlog. That's my next whip that I'm trying to bust through from the days of pre-pandemic, I guess. I guess that's how my whips are kind of outlined, is pre-pandemic versus post-pandemic. Because I have nothing from like the depths of the pandemic that I haven't finished. Yeah, it's actually like, I either have whips that have been cast on in the past like 3 months, or ones that are like 8 years old. There's no middle. There's no like, this one's 2 years old, because I finished everything I've started since I basically hit my resurgence of knitting in the summer of 2020. I've always knit sporadically, off and on. There were stretches where I did, stretches where I didn't. I crocheted for maybe a solid 3 or 4 years, almost exclusively. So then I sewed for a while. I've always been crafting, but I really hit this knitting stride like in 2020. I think I'm having a resurgence of crochet again, mostly just because I have so many crochet whips that I need to finish, so I keep working on those. I've got many Advent plans. I designed my Advent cover. I don't love when they say these things. I know they legally have to say it, but I don't love it. I designed my cover photo for my Gab's Vents, so thank you, MC, for liking it and liking the pun. I'm excited for them. It's gonna be a long time of Advents, but I'm really excited. I'm gonna pull out my Christmas themed yarn, which I'm pretty sure that I have like 2 skeins of Christmas themed yarn. That's it. Because I'm usually like kind of a Scrooge about Christmas, but I'm working on it. I'm exploring these feelings, figuring out why, and I think I figured it out. But not something I'm going to share on social media. But I think I figured it out. So I'm more positive about Christmas this year. So, yes. That's where I am. I am home from work this week, so I'm looking after the girls. I take Lottie to preschool. We have to the library. And that's kind of it. Just a chill day at home. My husband has purchased like, I don't know, 15 pounds of potatoes. So we're probably going to be making a bunch of potato stuff this week. I'm going to make latkes. I know it's not Hanukkah yet, but latkes anytime is kind of the way we do it. So I think we're going to do latkes. I'm going to make applesauce with the girls. My sister has requested a pumpkin crumble instead of a pumpkin pie, but I've never made a pumpkin crumble. So we'll see how this goes. I may make it Wednesday in case it goes sideways. Then I have Thursday to fix it because it is Thanksgiving for us on Thursday. And then I'm making apple crumble, which is easy. That's my own little recipe where I measure nothing at all. And then I put it all together, but it is a fan favorite in the Koizumi household. Let's see. I think that's it. I'm off to go running And I will probably see a lot of you today, hopefully, because I'm off work. Oh, last update. Eleanor made it last night as well without her pacifier. So this big girl has gone 2 nights in a row without her passy. I'm very proud of her. I thought she was never gonna do it. I was like, I'm gonna have to send her to college with a pack of passies. But she's okay. She's doing it. We're sure we're gonna hit a well. We're sure she's gonna fight, and that's okay. Lottie was a fighter. I'm a fighter. It's fine. But so far so good. Celebrating the wins rather than worrying about jinxing, because it's probably gonna happen anyway. So that's it. I'll see you later. Okay, so it turns out I've been making this box mac and cheese wrong for like a million years. So apparently you're supposed to drain the pasta, which I do every time, and then make the sauce while the pasta's draining. I always dump the milk, butter, and cheese powder on top of the pasta and then mix it all together. But apparently you're supposed to do this. Look, here I am. I am melting the butter in the warm pan, which is what the thing tells me to do. Sorry, I'm bad at stirring when I'm looking through the camera. And then I'm draining the pasta, not dumping it on top like I usually do. I gotta put the milk in, and I've got some pasta stuck to it, but it's okay. But what? I had no idea. Has everyone else just known how to make this pasta, and it's just me who's late to the party? Okay, this is the finished mac and cheese. It does look a little less clumpy than when I normally make it. We'll see what the girls think. It is currently only 10:32. I make it early so that Lottie has it ready when she comes back from preschool, and I can feed it to Lenny before we go so she's not hungry and grumpers in the car. But we'll let you know the verdict on box mac and cheese. Oopsies. Boxed mac and cheese. But it's organic, right? All right. It is about 1:30. I made some gravy. Lottie and Lenny are making bracelets and vlogging on their Barbie computer. Daniel,
actually, doing Kara and Nate.
Now they're watching Kara and Nate on their Barbie computer. I've roped Daniel into watching the Jimmy Bean's Wool Watcher sale with me. It's all very chaotic because, let me see if I can explain this in one sentence. On the Jimmy Bean's Wool website, certain items go on sale for an hour or until that item sells out. Well, all the items have been selling out very fast, so it keeps changing and you don't know what the product is, so you're going to have to keep checking back to see what you want. So far I've bought nothing, which is fine, but it's very exciting to watch because it's a thrill. I've also had very good luck today. I have been having very good luck with giveaways. So Kate of Fiberology Dye Works was hosting a giveaway for mini skeins, and I think they're like testers or used for swatches or something, and I think she's been doing it monthly. And me and Rachel who's Creative Yarnaholic on Instagram. It was like a tag a friend thing, so I tagged her and she tagged me and we won. So we've got some mini skeins coming to us, which is super exciting, and Kate is so sweet. She knows that I'm allergic to cats and she's like, I'm gonna rewash them again. I'm like, you don't have to do that, it's okay, I'll wash them. But she's like, no, I want to rewash them. So she's great. I'll link her shop below. Check out her stuff. She does an Agatha Christie yarn of the month club. I bought her Death on the Nile colorway and it was perfect. Exactly what I was thinking for Death on the Nile. It's currently being used in my Stephen West MCal. And she's got great ones. I'm just holding out for the mysteries that I like so I can wash and knit them at the same time. My favorites are Poirot, but I'm hoping for Evil Under the Sun because that is my most absolute favorite Agatha Christie. So I like Evil Under the Sun. I like the 310 to Paddington. And what else? Oh, A Murder is Announced and The Mirror Cracked. Those are my like top 4 or 5. I love Death on the Nile too. And I do like Murder on the Orient Express, even though it's feeling a little overdone these days, but that's okay. I love Agatha Christie. So check out her shop. It's great. I'll link it below. But thank you, Kate. I'm so excited and she's so sweet. I'm gonna go check on my kids because now they're building a foam gingerbread house, which feels much safer than the beading that I was letting them do. The box said ages 8 and up, but I was like, my kids can do it. No, the holes were too small on the beads. Good morning. It is November 21st and it is definitely getting colder. It's about 6:45. I'm going to be out running until about 7:15. I'll cross train later today or go on a walk with the girls to get my last 15 minutes of workout in. Let's see. What are we doing today? Lottie's getting a haircut. That's it. I'll probably go by Joanne because it's right next door. Because it looks like most shops are doing Black Friday way ahead of time. Like, yeah. Like Joanne's been doing Black Friday for like a week. And most online shops and even like indie dyers are doing Black Friday ahead of time. Which I'm kind of liking that there's, that it's kind of spread out. I am still playing or doing Wool Watcher for Jimmy Bean's wool. I bought nothing, but it's really exciting to see what comes up next. I don't know if there's anything I'm really actually looking for. So, yeah, I don't know. But that's all right. Let's catch up with the knitting. I have castanitis, so I've been wanting to cast on everything. So that's what I'm doing. I'm just embracing where I am with casting on. My secret test knit, I definitely thought I was almost done, and I'm not even close to being almost done. I thought, okay, go with me on the math. I thought there were 8 sections. There's 12 sections, and I need to finish 3 sections to complete my obligation for the test. Well, I'd finished 2. And I was lazily doing the second one because I thought I had plenty of time. Turns out I was wrong. And I have to do another 28 times 2, 56 rows. I have another 56 rows for this project. Oops. It's actually probably closer to like 70 because I have to do the transition to the next color. So, whoopses. So I'm working on that. I came up with a little system for myself of every 1,000 steps that I take, I can cast on a new project, which is not that hard, because I mean the hardest part is remembering my phone, because I don't use a watch or a Fitbit or anything. It's only my phone. So oftentimes I'll like leave my phone someplace for like a couple hours, and then I'm like, oh shoot, I've been wandering about without my phone. So, or I'm using it to record, like when I'm sweeping or something, so I'm not getting the steps, but that's okay. So I need to finish that. I'm working on it this week. I did cast on the November socks for my sister swap that I do with her, and I also cast on another sock tube, I guess, for another donation to Gary Knit Scary Rides. Initially the socks were meant for my grandma Bubby, but I've since changed my mind and want to do Christmas colored socks for her instead. So I'm going to do that instead. And yeah, we'll see how that goes. So that's what I want to do. That's what I'm planning to cast on today, to see how, she's really tiny feet. Like, I've got really tiny feet, but she got really tiny feet. So we'll do that. See how that pans out. I think that's it. I have decided what I'm doing with my Advents, but that's the Advent prep video. I'm doing a mystery knit along, as well as I found a blanket that I wanted to do. So I was looking on YouTube about all these different like Advent things and patterns that people recommend, and I get it. I get why they haven't knit them or made them all, but I don't know. I wish there was like maybe there is. If you know of a video, and I'm just getting algorithm, I'm not finding it, of like, these are the 10 Advent projects I've actually made and my opinions on them, rather than, you know, just reading the description, because a lot of times the patterns haven't been purchased. So reading the description and doing that, I guess I could do it. I think have I made enough Advent patterns that I could do it? Let's think. I'm in the middle of Battenberg, so I could join a square and then tell you how I think about it. Let's see, I'm in the middle of Battenberg. Chaylee has done a granny square, so Chaylee could help me. Chaylee's doing a granny stripe. I did some kind of easy back V thing by oh no, Knit Sophie. It's like Knit and Philosophy. It's like a portmanteau. I've done Scrappy Socks. I've done the Cozy Memories. That's 6. I've done the Helen Stewart to Dust of Snow. That's 7. Oh, could I do it? I have 7. Oh, I have my sister. Oh my god, I have my own sister. Sorry, Shay. I have my sister's Advent palette. That's how it's called. Let Me See You Get Lotus. Because, get it? Okay. 8. That's 8. And then I'm planning at, oh, and the Nami cowl, which I loved. I did that a long time ago. 9. Yeah. I could do ones that I've actually done, and my opinions on the ones I've actually done. Nothing, no shade on them. I just wish there was like a solid review on things that, like, you know, people actually made, because that's exciting. I like it when you see what people have actually made, because sometimes things look beautiful in the pictures, but then they are the pattern's hard to read, or the gauge is funny, which most time people have, but still, that's that Instagram is a highlight reel. It is absolutely a highlight reel. So is the vlog. So is my vlog. We've had rough times. We have rough times in between, but I obviously don't film the rough times that I'm having, unless it's knitting related, or when things go slightly awry with my children, because they deserve their privacy when they're having their big emotions as well. which happens a lot when you're almost 2 and almost 4. Yeah, so we're working on it, but it's a work in progress. So I guess I have enough. I'll talk to Shaylee about it, see what she thinks. Tell me what you think. Yeah, so I do have plans for my Advent knitting this time. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I'll do the ones that I made and ones that I plan to make as part of the Advent prep. I've liked most of them. Honestly, I like most of the things that I knit and I make. Except for Twist and Turns. Except for Clue 1 of Twist and Turns. I did not love that at all. That was an absolute slog. I think that was one of my most grueling knits. And it was Clue 1. Actually, Clue 1 this year, too. I had big emotions. That Clue 1 of the Stephen Westcal is big emotions. So, but I loved the summer sock along. So, definitely doing that again. I may not do the MCal again. I think it's just too much for me. It's too much knitting on one thing. Yeah. It feels unmanageable, I guess, to keep up. And I know it's like, it's the pace, not the race, all that business, but I like to keep up. So it's upsetting when I don't. At least for me. Yeah. Anyway, I'm off now to go running. Lottie's got her hair cut later on today, so I gotta wrangle them, brush their hair. Lottie still hasn't gotten her hair cut, like ever in her whole life. Lottie was 2.5 when we got her first haircut, but for some reason, Lenny's hair isn't growing down the back. It's only growing in the front, like cousin it. So, and I don't want to do bangs. I don't want to deal with bangs, but her hair just like doesn't want to part, like down the middle. Maybe it needs more weight. I don't know, but she looks like Justin Bieber from 2010. But it's okay. Oh, Passy update. 3 days in a row now. Look at this girl. This was her 3rd night. Granted, she was up at 5:45 again, but she did it. 3 nights in a row. On top of the world. All right, see y'all later. Okay, quick thing. Shaylee and I are participating in the Indie Gift Along on Ravelry, which launches today at 2 p.m. Pacific and 5 p.m. Eastern. So, I will link all the info below, but we have a bundle of 14 patterns that are all 25% off right now for the Indie Gift Along, and it's for the next week. Most of them are, I think they're actually all of our sock patterns. So 25% off. The link, I think, is Indie Gift, the coupon code is Indie Gift Along 2023, I think. I'll correct myself down below if it's wrong. And I just saw the stats post. There's like, there's like 500 designers. There's like over 23,000 patterns. There's a bunch of stuff. I'll link all of the details below if you want to join in. But yeah, you can get our patterns and a bunch of others every day for the rest of Vlogsgiving. I will chat about a different pattern designer that I really like and that's participating in the Indie Gift Along. Yeah. So, our shop will be on sale for 25% off for 14 of our patterns for the next week or so. So, check that out. Stock up on your sock patterns, all of those things. And there's a bunch of other really great designers, people who I've knit for. If you liked my Haunted House MCal, Telly Bean Knits has hers. Let's see, Orchard House. I'm going to talk about a bunch of them when each day, but I gotta make a list actually. But yes, there's great. Check it out. Check out the Ravelry group. There are off Ravelry options, so if you need to do that, check out their Instagram and that'll have all the info on how to do that. But yes, it's noisy out here. My kids are playing in the leaves and driving their little trucks around. I'm a big proponent of like secondhand kids toys. Especially ones that you can clean. So I have found a lot of secondhand kids toys for my girls. I'm currently looking at, do you know what a cozy coop is? It's the, it's like the red Fisher Price. I got one of those on Buy Nothing. One of the parent educator in my class gave me a little radio flyer tractor electric vehicle for the girls. And on the side of the road, we got a Minnie Mouse truck. So my husband and father-in-law call it Mom Vanna, which I guess there's Carvana. in Southern California, so that's what they call every time I find these little vehicles on the side of the road or get them somehow donated for free. But I have to go now because my 2-year-old, she's wearing a helmet, but she's currently trying to scale the rock wall in our backyard. Excellent. Glenn! Okay, I know this is a really great camera angle, but it's the best I can because I'm pushing the stroller. Anyway, 2 things. One, I have determined if I get 10,000 steps in a day, then I get to cast on a new project. Mostly because we're doing the Holo Holo challenge, and we want to be first place for the amount of like members of our team there are, because teams can have up to 20 members, so we obviously cannot keep up with people whose teams are 20, but so the goal is to be first place for a team of 4. So to that end, I need to get more steps and remember to log them, because that's really the issue. So 10,000 steps in a day, I get to cast on a new project. Second, if you are ever in the market for a stroller, specifically a double stroller, do not get a Mockingbird. That's what I'm currently pushing, and it's absolutely horrendous. I just drove my child into a bush. Yeah, that's her laughing because it seems like it's a great value. There's a reason. You get what you pay for. This is very hard to steer. It's kind of terrible. I have to go now because we're rolling down the hill. Push the green button.